Today we are talking about 5 pieces of support equipment that I feel like we don't really talk about enough. And this video is aimed towards beginners because, me being a beginner at one point, I would only look at the shiny new toys such as the best looking camera, FX6, C70s, aperture 1200s, just the shiny new pieces of equipment that I feel like would make me stand out and would make my work stand out. That can be true. Those things really do play a big part in film and in photos. But there are some very important supportive equipment that, as I got further along as a photographer and videographer, I was like, oh my God, I should have invested in these things from the beginning. And this is my list. The very first equipment on my list are C-stands. And I know there's some people watching this video that are just like, yeah, we know about C-stands, but there are people out there that don't. Again, I was once one of them. At one point, I went on Amazon and I bought these little cheap light stands, which I think most people do because that's all they know. The cheap, the stands where you unlock it and you push down on the legs and they open up. Those can be very helpful for beginners. But I wish I would have put my money into C-stands. Guys, with C-stands, they're so much more sturdy. They're usually a lot taller, and they can become backdrop holders. They can become mic stands, and most importantly, they are very sturdy with holding heavy lights. The second thing on my list, SSDs, solid state drives. When I first started, I was trying to edit off of my computer while also storing all those photos and videos onto my computer. SSDs do not bottleneck your information when you're trying to edit, and it will truly speed up your process of editing because sometimes your computer itself is just not strong enough as a beginner, and editing photos and videos can get really bogged down if you're just trying to do it directly off your computer or editing off of an external drive, hard drive. My third supportive equipment, guys, make sure to invest in at least an extension cord for every light that you have. Extension cords are going to be so important, especially when you're shooting on location. Heavy duty, outside, 3-prong extension cords. And there are extension cords that can connect to one. There are extension cords with multiple different little outlets going down the cord, which are perfect, especially if you just want to try to minimize how many cords you have just laying around. You never know when you're going to need it, and having those can be a lifesaver. With extension cords and lighting cords, that brings me to number 4, gaff tape. Gaff tape has saved my life so many times. And also it can save another person's life. Where I work, it's a big public place, so there's a lot of people walking by. There's cords, there's lighting, and cords, lighting, C-stands, and hundreds of people just passing by can be a train wreck. Gaff tape is usually used to tape down your cords that are extending across hallways and floors. That way, when people are walking by in public, they don't accidentally trip on it. Gaff tape can also be used to mark the spot of your subject. That way, if you're doing a long shoot, and let's just say you have your camera on manual focus and you don't want to have to keep shifting back and forth to try to find your focus again once they get back, you can mark their spot. They can leave, you can walk away, and usually once they get back, tell them to stand right back on that spot and the focus should be good. Last is a camera cage. You might not have your monitor yet, you might not have any audio yet, but at least with that cage and that investment, you will be prepared to be able to build upon your camera and spec it out the way you want. With the cage, you can have top handles, you can have side handles, you can have your audio on one cold shoe, your monitor on top or on the side, whatever you want. And that concludes my list for 5 pieces of supportive equipment that I feel like beginners should invest in as early as possible, because these things are so versatile and will be used for a very, very long time. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hopefully I can come out with some more things for beginner photographers, videographers, and also to just show my journey as I walk the path of a videographer and photographer. So I'll see y'all later.